Ever made a single wrong decision and then realized it's too late to go back?
Elizabeth Herndon knows firsthand that in those moments between choice and consequence, your life is squarely in the palm of the Almighty.
And there's no pleasant way to be hit by a tornado. But tonight, Elizabeth walks us through her situation, what might be the most harrowing, her fight to simply survive and protect her family.
After hearing White Rock and McAllister, and those are the roads that, the road is right behind us as the crow flies, half a mile. And that's when the power went out, and we really didn't hear anything. We had enough time to get the pillows over our children, which was our main focus, was to protect them. And then it moved our house quite a bit. I had, maybe 3 seconds to think, okay, our house is not livable, but it can be fixed. When it hit, I knew exactly what direction it hit. I know that it hit the front of our house and turned our house upside down, but within that first rotation, everything just was destroyed. I remember being in the air. I remember being hit over and over and over again. I remember at one point shielding my face. There was no pain. I was ready to meet my maker than I really was, and I was talking to God the entire time, prepared to meet him if that was his will, but also saying if it wasn't his will to please help me get through this. I just had this entire feeling come over my body as if, I'm taken care of. I'm gonna be okay. I was nowhere near aware of the severity of my injuries, and when it was over, immediately I was in definite shock, but I was still very coherent. I knew I had to find my family. I had to find my husband and my children. When I was able to yell, I yelled for my husband first. When he didn't answer, I still didn't know. I did think, he could just be far away. He could be unconscious. I didn't know the severity. I was trapped under something very large with my face down to the ground, and I couldn't get it off with my strength. Very quickly, rain fell to where in a sitting position, the water was up to here. I remember my son, he had life-threatening injuries, and he crawled to me, and with my good arm that wasn't broken, I was holding him out of the water because the rain, it just fell so fast, and we were so deep, and it was very, very cold, and that's when I just started to yell for help. And my in-laws live a quarter of a mile down the road, and at one point I saw their house and I could see inside of it, so I knew it hit them extremely bad as well. And a piece of sheetrock is all that kept them in the closet they were in, and they were able to get to us, thank goodness. And essentially my father-in-law found everybody. We were all again, by the grace of God, in one area. We weren't separate, because I know he didn't really expect to find us at all.
There are a lot of emotions that come to mind in the wake of disaster: confusion, frustration, anxiety. But that is where this story pivots. Tomorrow at 10 p.m., Elizabeth tells us about what's next and why her focus is not on any emotions, but instead on thankfulness and faith.
She has a lot of faith. That is an incredible story.
Just to be able to hear her even talk so clearly about what happened.
That she literally prayed so that she would be able to communicate this clearly, because again, as we mentioned, her goal is that no one else has to experience this ever.
So vivid what she says. It's like you can picture it in your mind of all that she went through.
All right, Matt, thanks so much. Elizabeth says she is thankful for the outpouring of support, but if you feel called to help her and her family out, simply scan the QR code on your screen. They do have a GoFundMe that is set up. It's by a family friend. We also have a link to that GoFundMe fundraiser right now on our website. Just visit WTVA.com.